It's chaos in the Shields household.
She goes at about 1,000 miles an hour.
With 1-year-old Bichon Frise, Fiona, running circles around Jessica.
Fiona, let's go.
Her brother, Todd.
Fiona is terrible.
And her mother, Florence.
No, Fiona. Fiona, no. Fiona?
Florence is no fan of pets.
My mother got rid of my dog.
Jessica's careless management has only made the problem worse.
How much do you walk her?
Not at all.
Is she crazy?
But can Victoria help Florence to see Fiona in a new light?
You are going to have to develop a relationship with this dog.
Or will Fiona be forced out of the house?
Do you want Fiona in your home or not?
Victoria Stilwell has been training dogs in Great Britain and the United States for nearly 14 years. Today, she's on her way to meet a family at odds over their newest addition.
Getting a dog is a major decision that shouldn't be taken lightly. And if you don't spend enough quality time with your new pet, you'll end up with an animal that is seriously out of control.
I got Fiona a year and a half ago when I was in college. I moved back here with my mom. Fiona is just happy and loves life and full of energy.
Come here. My mother's infected by Fiona because my mother can't get around like she used to. She's kind of at Fiona's will because all she can do is yell, but she's yelling in vain because Fiona doesn't listen to anybody.
Stop, Fiona. Fiona's into everything all the time. And she just makes my life a living nightmare.
Before she begins training, Victoria will spend the day observing Florence's nightmare for herself.
I'm Jessica.
Hi, Jessica. You got sharp nails. That hurts. I walked in the door and was accosted by a tiny little puffball of a Bichon Frise jumping up at me and yapping.
Fiona may look cute, but Todd and Florence are eager to reveal her less appealing qualities.
Goodness me. She goes at about 1,000 miles an hour, I can't
That's her normal behavior.
What's your relationship with Fiona?
I really don't have a relationship with Fiona. She's just too rambunctious for me. I just can't stand all the activity.
If my mom had her way, Fiona would not be within a 100-foot radius of herself at any time.
Okay, well, I'm here to observe today, so I want to see everything that Fiona does. Okay, so there's no time like the present. Let's do it.
All right.
Okay?
Straight away, Victoria gets a taste of the trouble Fiona stirs up in the kitchen.
Fiona tries to get into the food. She's a really high jumper. And she continues until she gets what she wants.
Has she ever been fed from the table?
He's the culprit. He'll go, oops, and throw food on the floor.
I sent Jessica and Todd out of the room because I wanted to get a sense of what it was like when Florence was by herself making her food. Fiona was intently interested on an open bag of chips, and she jumped really high to try and get the packet of chips off the counter.
Seconds later, Fiona finds a more accessible snack, popcorn.
So if you turn your back for a minute, she's up onto that table.
Right.
Eating.
Yes. You know, when I get so frustrated.
Okay.
Chips and popcorn aren't the only things Fiona has developed a taste for.
She's drinking out of your water.
No, Fiona. Fiona gets into everything. My trash can, if I put things on my bed, she's always into my knee highs, and she takes off with it, and when I get my knee high back, it's full of holes. I have loads and loads of knee highs that's full of holes.
Hold on. What is that? Fiona is a tiny dog. She's a powder puff. She's very sweet. But she is wreaking havoc around this house.
Fiona, no. Fiona.
Now she's stolen something?
Fiona, it's too much for me to deal with Fiona because I just can't jump up and run someplace.
Hi.
Because Fiona's so little and so excited, it's really hard to get at her.
Fiona, no. No, get away.
Do you want her in this house?
I'm not a dog lover, but I could tolerate them.
Okay. I think Florence only tolerates Fiona for Jessica's sake. She's not a dog lover.
No, Fiona. Get down. Down, Fiona.
With Florence less than enthusiastic about having Fiona around, Victoria wants to hear how Jessica is managing the problem.
Can your mom take care of Fiona during the day?
Not really. When it's time for me to go to work, I put her in the crate.
Into this crate?
Into this crate.
Okay. It's such a shame that both Florence and Fiona spend all day in this house, but they're spending it apart. Fiona's in her crate, Florence is downstairs, and never the two shall meet. So tell me, how long on an average day does she spend in this crate?
I would say maybe 6 to 7 hours.
Okay. That is way too long. I believe that creating a dog for 6 to 8 hours a day, daily, is abusive. How much do you walk her?
It's been very infrequent.
So tell me how infrequent.
Like on a bad week, it'll be not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. I know it's bad.
So she spends 6 to 8 hours a day in a crate, and she doesn't get walked.
Oh.
I'm amazed when people tell me they don't walk their dogs. Don't they know who I am? Don't they know what I'm going to say to them? Is she crazy? Anything else?
Well, I am considering adopting a puppy as a friend for Fiona. I feel like she'll really respond to having a dog friend around. The only thing is it is kind of secretive. I'm trying to keep it from my mom.
Wow. I don't believe that Fiona is leading a fulfilling life right now. Her having to spend most of her life cooped up in a tiny little crate. So why is she thinking of bringing another puppy?
Dismayed at what she has learned so far, Victoria pulls Todd aside to get his perspective on his sister's situation.
Do you think your mother gives in to Jessica a lot?
No doubt about it. All the time.
What effect does this have on your mother?
I think it drives my mother crazy. I think my mother tolerates it because of Jessica, but I think she's a bit old school. My mother's never been a quote-unquote pet person, but, you know, Jessica gets to do whatever Jessica wants to do anyway. So she brings the dog home, boom, add water, instant new member of the family.
But Todd also has a reason to be fearful for the newest member of the family.
Toby was my dog growing up. Look, I came home from a youth retreat, ready to see my dog. I called him, Toby, come in. No Toby. I said, where's my dog? And my mother says, oh, I think Toby ran away. Not gonna happen. I believe they got rid of my dog.
You do?
Oh, no doubt about it. I know for a fact that my parents got rid of Toby. She denies it to this day, but I know for a fact they got rid of Toby.
Is there any threat of something like that happening to Fiona?
There's always a threat when you leave Fiona alone with my mother. There's no telling what could happen to her.
The way Jessica treats Fiona is not fair. But also, it's not fair on Florence, because with Jessica not giving the kind of attention that Fiona needs, Florence is dealing with the ramifications. And whatever happened to Toby could possibly happen to Fiona.
Coming up, Victoria presses Florence for the truth about Toby.
Now, Florence, what happened to Toby?
I don't know why people keep asking me the same question.
Oh my gosh.
Victoria Stilwell has spent a day observing the difficulties Bichon Frise Fiona has caused in the Shields household.
No. Fiona, no.
Now she sits down with the family to have a serious discussion about what she has seen.
First of all, I want to say that I think you've got a serious situation here. I think you need to show your mother and her home more respect. And I think you are irresponsible. Fiona, she's created way too long. When I came through the door, there's a whirling dervish of a dog. Why is that? Because she's pent up, pent up, pent up. And then the door opens and she goes, wow! That's why she's so crazy. You're smart. Could you not see that?
Jessica, I used to tell you that. I told you the way she acts like that is because she's pent up in that crate. But now you believe it because Victoria says it. I told you that. You know, I'm sorry.
No.
Oh,
This is
okay.
a chance for you to be able to say what you want to say.
I'm gonna say it too, because I told you that before.
I don't like like keeping her in the crate. Like, I'd like there to be some other alternative. Like, I'd like to work out another alternative.
The alternative is walking her, but you don't even do that either.
You're a bad mother.
Just think for a moment what it would be like with you being confined like that 6 to 8 hours a day. What would that be like for you?
It'd be bad.
You would go stir crazy within a couple of days. And that's what your dog is doing. There is no excuse for not exercising a dog. Fiona's lack of exercise is criminal. So you have to step up to the plate. And if not, Fiona will continue not to have a very good life experience. There are certain things in your life, certain decisions you might make that probably will not be good ones. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I'm not a tattletale.
Well, I'm interested in possibly getting a small puppy. Because, you know, I've wanted another dog for like over a year, and I feel like if Fiona is trained well, a friend for her would really be ideal.
Am I supposed to give her an answer to that?
Yeah, answer it.
I just can't even think about that right now, having another dog.
You do not have time to responsibly raise a puppy.
I'm shocked that Jessica almost got another dog and then talked to me about it. I can't believe that.
Now, Florence, do you have anything to say about Toby? Because that's all I keep hearing about is Toby this, Toby that. What happened to Toby?
I've said what happened to Toby. Either Toby ran away or Toby was stolen. You know, and I don't know why people keep asking me this same question.
I will stand to this day. That is not true. She knows exactly what happened to my dog.
So, do you want Fiona in your home or not? Because if I'm to work, you're going to be part of that working.
Okay.
And you are going to have to develop a relationship with this dog. Are you willing to do it?
Yes, I'll do it.
And Jessica, are you willing to work?
Yes.
Good. Now the family has heard what I've had to say. All the cards are out on the table. No secrets anymore. It's time to get to work.
Victoria begins by releasing Fiona from confinement.
Now, I want to, first of all, let her out of here. And this is the last time she's going to be in it.
Okay.
Now, up there, in your doorway, I've put a baby gate.
Okay.
But still being in social isolation during the day is not a good thing. And that's why I'm going to be working with your mother so that at least once or twice a day, Fiona will be let out.
Okay. I'm excited that Fiona would no longer be in the crate. I am a little worried. I mean, it's a big change, and the crate was very much a last resort. So now that I don't have that, I just wonder how things are going to be.
If Fiona has any hopes of being free to roam the house, Victoria will have to give Florence a little more control.
Fiona doesn't listen to anything I say. Fiona, no. Fiona, she ignores me completely.
I know you don't like Fiona being up on the bed, and I know that you have a hard time telling her to get off. She doesn't listen to you.
Right.
So I'm going to train her how to get off. When I want to train a dog to get off things, I also invite them up as well, because it becomes a bit of a game. When she gets on the bed, she doesn't really get anything. But when she gets off, she gets the food. When you make off much more exciting than on, then the dog will get off whenever you ask.
Now it's time to put the concept into practice.
Off. Good girl. Good girl. On. Good. Off. Good girl.
Now it's Florence's turn to give it a try.
Fiona, off. Off, Fiona.
Now, you say it once. If you keep saying off, 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 she'll think the command is off, 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 off. I want Fiona to see Florence in a different light. I want Florence to be more of a leader, so when she says something or asks something of Fiona, Fiona does it. Show her that you've got the treat. She's more interested in me at the moment.
Fiona. Good girl.
Very nice. Good.
Fiona.
Throw. That's it. Beautiful. You didn't even throw it. Beautiful.
Good girl.
Florence, that was awesome. Well done.
Good.
Well done.
Fiona did well. It makes me very happy to know that Fiona will get off of my bed when I ask her to.
Coming up,
Oh, brother.
Victoria confronts Fiona's biggest weakness. Can she resist? Victoria is beginning to build a better relationship between Florence and her daughters Bichon Frise.
Beautiful.
Good girl.
Florence, that was awesome.
Now, she wants to teach a very hyperactive Fiona how to control her impulses.
I know that Fiona's smart, but she has no self-inhibition at all. And it's something that I have to teach her. So it's going to be a challenge. So I'm going to teach her. When you say leave it, that's what she's got to do. And I'm going to use food to do it. I'm going to start off by showing her the food. She knows the food's in my hand. What she has to do, she has to take her nose away from it before she gets it. Good girl. But as soon as she backed her body away, she got it.
Victoria then adds a verbal command.
Leave it. Good girl. Now I'm upping the ante. I'm going to show her the treat so she can see it as well as smell it. This is harder for her. Or the impulse control. Leave it. Good girl. Now, is she going to be able to leave food if I put it on the floor right in front of her?
I don't think so.
Okay, this is going to be hard for her. Leave it. Uh-oh. Leave it. Good girl. Isn't that great? Good girl.
When we first started, I didn't think that Victoria could train her. I was kind of surprised.
With Fiona doing so well, Victoria wants to try the command with Fiona's two weaknesses, stockings and popcorn.
Oh dear, I don't think she's even interested in the knee-high without the popcorn being here.
When Jessica brought the popcorn in my knee-high, I say, this is it. She's going for it.
Leave it. Good girl. Leave it. Good girl. I want Florence to have a little place in her heart for Fiona, and this is doing it. Oh, brother.
Now it's Jessica's turn to try the command with Fiona's favorite food.
Okay. Leave it. Good girl.
Very good.
I never thought in a million years she would resist temptation like that. It was amazing. Leave it. Good girl.
I was just blown away when Jessica said, leave it, and she backed up. I almost fainted.
For a dog to self-inhibit itself, it's a big deal. So I think she's done really well.
Now that Florence sees what Fiona is capable of, Victoria takes the family to a training facility so that they can see how beneficial dogs can be for their owners.
Okay, so I want to introduce you all. This is Lindsay with her dog Carly.
Take a bow. Good girl.
If you can tell a little bit more about the work that you do.
At Canine Assistance, we train our dogs to help get a phone, go get help, open or close a door. They can go get you a bottle of water. I mean, pretty simple things that can really improve your quality of living and make things easier for you.
Florence, even though she's very capable in a lot of things, does find a few things difficult. And if Fiona can now help her instead of being a hindrance, that might help to form a relationship between them. So could you show us some of the things that Carly can do?
I would love to. Carly, can you go get the medicine? Carly, get it. That's it. That's it. Up. That's it. Bring it here. Bring it here. Give. Yes, good girl.
I had never seen a dog do the things that Carly did. I was very surprised, and I was very impressed.
I would like to be able to help Fiona and train her on some basics. So we're going to start the process.
Seeing some of the things that Carly demonstrated was amazing. It was nice to see. But at the same time, in the back of my mind, I was thinking there's no way that Fiona can do some of those things.
Victoria begins the long process of teaching a retrieval with a basic touch command.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the dumbbell from behind my back and I'm going to show it to her. And when she goes towards that object and touches it with her nose, she gets a treat. Okay. Good girl. I let her touch it with her nose. And then I take it behind my back again. Good girl. Touch. Good girl.
Victoria repeats this process several times to get Fiona used to touching the dumbbell.
Okay, so now you can see that it's in her brain. After Fiona had learnt to touch the dumbbell with her nose, I began to put the dumbbell in different positions, so Fiona would have to travel further to get to it. Touch. Good girl. Okay, go. Touch. Yes, good girl.
With Fiona used to the dumbbell, Victoria gets Todd and Jessica involved in the process.
Touch. Good girl.
Touch. Good girl.
Now it's Florence's turn.
Fiona can sense Florence really doesn't want to have anything much to do with her, so when Florence takes over the training, that's going to be hard to get Fiona to listen. Okay, get her attention.
Fiona, touch. Okay, good girl.
Good, beautiful.
I have no doubt in my mind that life for my mother would be easier if Fiona could keep her company as well as help her out with small tasks around the house.
Okay, so that is enough for now. That's the first stages. Now we go to the next stage in a little while where she needs to be able to put her mouth over the dumbbell. Okay? Good work. All right, let's go.
Back at home, Victoria works with Jessica on an exercise routine for Fiona.
I want you to be able to come out here now and play with her. Poor Fiona doesn't get out at all, and it's got to change. This is going to do wonders for Fiona's energy level inside the house. Bichon Frises were originally known as the circus dogs, so I want to teach Fiona a few tricks out here that you can use with Fiona.
Taking advantage of Fiona's boundless energy, Victoria wants to teach her to jump.
Fiona! Good girl, good girl. What I'm doing is I'm just luring her through the hoop.
Okay.
Jump, good girl. And as I'm doing it, I'm telling her to jump. Jump, good girl. Fiona's a typical Bichon. She took to the training like that. Got it? So you can take it away. There you go.
Jump. Good girl.
Because she's doing so well with that, I've set up a course of a few hoops.
Fiona's leash is attached, so she can be better directed through the sequence of hoops.
Jump. Oh, good girl. Jump. Jump, Fiona. Good girl, Fiona. Jump.
Good girl. Very good.
I was excited, you know, to see Fiona perform and be like, you know, acrobatic and stuff. I can't wait to come back in the backyard and do this with her, you know, on a regular basis.
Coming up, can Victoria get Fiona and Florence working together?
I would like you to teach this 3 times a day for 5 to 10 minutes each time.
7 days a week.
Victoria has created a new exercise routine for Jessica and Fiona.
Jump. Jump.
Good girl. Very good.
Now they go back inside to address Fiona's bad habits in the kitchen.
Florence does not like it when Fiona's in the kitchen. She's fed human food from the family when they're walking around the kitchen, when they're sitting at the kitchen table when they're eating. So of course she's going to try and get food. Florence has had enough of it. What we're going to train Fiona to do is to stay behind the line. She is not allowed to come in. When you are either eating here or you are cooking something, she is behind the line. So I want to teach her. Being behind the line is good. Good. I'm going to walk into the kitchen. Out. Good girl. I'm putting a word to it, out. I'm also putting a hand signal where I'm pointing my hand out. Now I'm telling her to go out, and I'm waiting to give her her reward. The more I wait to treat Fiona while she's out of the kitchen, the longer she'll stay out of the kitchen. Good girl.
Todd is the biggest culprit of feeding Fiona table scraps, so Victoria tests his resolve.
So just go around as if you're assembling something, assembling a meal. If she comes any more over the line, you tell her.
All right. No, out. Out. Good girl, good girl.
You're such a good dog, Fiona.
Did I hear that coming from you?
When my mother made the statement that Fiona is such a good dog, I think time stopped. I think everybody in that room looked at her and said, okay, who is this woman? But I think that kind of reiterated that, okay, my mother's really trying.
What a difference. So you can see, with a bit of training, what she can do and how actually well-behaved she can be.
Yeah.
We're just teaching her now how to behave.
Having addressed matters in the kitchen, Victoria's ready to advance Fiona's assistance training.
Now I want to teach the second part of the retrieve. I'm going to get down on the floor with Fiona because I want to teach her to take things and then drop them. First of all, in order to get Fiona to become more mouthy, I played with lots of squeaky toys, which she loves. And that meant that she was getting used to actually grabbing different toys with her mouth. Take it. Good girl. Drop it. Take it. Good. I've exchanged it with another toy. Oh, what's that? What's that? Here, what's that? What's that? I then introduced the dumbbell. And as soon as I showed her the dumbbell, she put her mouth over the dumbbell. Good girl. Now I'm getting her to put her mouth around it. Could you just do one of those take it?
Fiona, take it. Take it.
Good.
Oh, good
girl.
I was very excited during the training. It was just fascinating to watch Fiona actually doing it, and you could tell that she was understanding what she was doing.
I would like you to teach this 3 times a day for 5 to 10 minutes each time.
Okay.
I want you to get to the point where she's actually put her mouth on the dumbbell and she's picking it up. No further than that.
Okay.
I'm so impressed with the speed that Fiona's learning it. Teaching a retrieve to a dog does not happen overnight. Now I've got her to this stage, I hope that Jessica will continue the training that I've given her.
Until Fiona's fully able to assist Florence, Victoria hopes they can build a bond in other ways.
You are going to be the keeper of these amazing toys. There's a huge chasm in the house because both Florence and Fiona are in the house all day, but they never meet because they're separated. And I want to encourage Florence now to have a bit more of a relationship with Fiona. Get her interested in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fiona?
There you go, that's good. Yeah, let her have it. Good. Good. Florence's face did light up when she was watching Fiona play with the toys. There's something in there. Some little affection, even though Florence won't admit it. I know it's there. See, Florence, this is all about creating a relationship because, and I want you to be completely frank with me, I would like it, and it would be great for her, for Fiona, if you could take her out of her room once a day.
7 days a week.
Well,
Only when I work.
Okay, great. Yes, I could do that.
you could do that. Fantastic. It means you're going to improve that dog's quality of life immeasurably. All right, I'm going to leave you for a couple of days. And, well, there's a lot to work on. It is so important, Jessica, that you walk Fiona twice a day. Todd and Jessica, you got to help your mom. So good luck. And I'll be watching you. And I'll be back soon to see your progress.
Okay.
Okay? All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
See ya.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
The biggest struggle Jessica's gonna have is she is L-A-Z-Y. She's lazy. So I'm gonna make sure that I stay on top of her so she can get rid of that laziness and do what's right for Fiona.
Coming up,
Come on, Fiona.
on her own, can Florence control Fiona?
Fiona, come on, come. Come on, Fiona.
With the Shields family on their own for a while, Jessica has been spending more time outdoors with Fiona.
Jump. Good girl. I've noticed a huge difference with Fiona overall. I mean, she's still happy and go-lucky and frisky, but she's definitely a lot more calm and laid back, and I think a lot of that is probably walking and not being in the crate. Here you go, Fiona, jump. Good girl.
After some time outdoors with her owner, Fiona gets some training with Florence as well.
Leave it. Good girl. Good girl.
I have no doubt in my mind that my mother is definitely warming up to Fiona. Seeing both of them, it's almost like they're training each other.
Ah. Good girl.
And she is really making an effort to build a relationship with Fiona. And that is so shocking because I'm telling you, my mother never did that before.
Ah. It's much nicer to have this Fiona than it was to have the old Fiona. Good girl.
Later, Todd helps out in the kitchen and toughens his stance with Fiona.
Out. Good girl. No, Good girl. Here you go. I'm just amazed at how she listens because in the past, I'm telling you, she would jump up for everything, big for everything, and she just doesn't do it anymore. Good girl. That's a good girl, Fiona.
Later in the week, Victoria checks in.
Let's see how the Shields family is getting on.
On. Come on.
Today, the whole family is working on the on-off training.
Off. 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 Good girl. Here you go.
When you say off, you don't keep repeating it to this point.
Oh,
You can call a name, but just point.
okay.
You tell him, Florence.
I think you're really doing a good job with Fiona.
Well, thank you. I'm really falling for Fiona because she's such a good dog now.
When I was doing the on-off training with Fiona, my mother actually corrected me. So that tells you that her mind is in it and her heart is in it, and she wants what's best for the dog.
But Todd isn't quite as mindful of Fiona's best interest.
Oh, Todd, you can't expect Fiona to control herself when you leave a temptation like that. You need to be less careless.
Later that day, Jessica works with Fiona on her retrieval training.
Grab it. Yes, good girl, Fiona.
Wow, this is pretty impressive for only a few days of work.
Bring it, Fiona. Come on, grab it. The retrieval training has been very difficult in general. Bring it, Fiona. Come on, get it. No, bring it. Fiona is picking up the toy and mouthing the dumbbell, but not bringing it back.
Don't get discouraged, Jessica. Fiona is doing really well with this training. And remember, this kind of retrieval can take months to learn.
Come on, Fiona.
Along with her training sessions, Fiona is also getting some time outside the bedroom when Jessica is away at work.
Go get your toy. Ah.
Florence, this is lovely. It's so important for Fiona to have her time out of the bedroom during the day.
But things take a turn when it's time to go upstairs.
Come on, Fiona. Fiona, come on. I had difficulties with Fiona not listening to me when I'm upstairs and I asked her to come up. Come on, Fiona. Come on. Come on. Come on. Fiona.
Oh, Florence, it was going so well, but don't be discouraged because I have a solution for this.
But while Florence has been doing her best to help Fiona, Jessica's dedication has started to wane.
Walking has been a nearly everyday thing. I've only missed one day. I'm tired. It's a little laziness on my part.
Jessica, I don't care how busy you are. Fiona's your responsibility, and it's not fair on her or to your mother if you slack off a bit. I'm on my way back.
Victoria returns to discuss Fiona's progress and to make sure Jessica follows through with the training.
I'm a little nervous because, you never really know what to expect, and maybe some harsh words might be coming my way.
I want to start with you, Jessica.
Okay.
Now, you walked her practically every day. Why did you miss that one day?
I was just exhausted.
the excuse of just you being tired. I don't think that works. And if it goes back to the old Jessica, you don't deserve to have a dog. You get up and you take your dog out.
Okay.
Your whole teaching, I know, with the dumbbell, even though you were getting a little frustrated because she wasn't really picking it up and bringing it to you, I didn't even expect her. I didn't even expect it to get to the point where she actually even picked it up. So don't get frustrated by it.
Okay.
Florence, is that heart beginning to crack a little bit? Is there a little bit of room for Fiona now?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Getting her up into her room again is the difficulty, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, I still want to do a little bit of work on that. Are you ready, miss? Let's do it. Come on.
To give Florence a little more control, Victoria introduces a recall command.
Dogs like to come to us when we call them because we're exciting to them. Yes, it's treats, but it's also us as well. So I want you to say, Fiona, Fiona, and then say the word come. When you say that word, I'm going to release Fiona. And then she's like, yay, I'm coming to you.
Fiona, Fiona, come.
Give her the chicken, say good
Good girl.
Fiona. I got you, I got you. Ready? Say that again.
Fiona, Fiona, come. Good girl.
Good, love
girl.
it. I want Florence to really perfect the recall training with Fiona so that wherever Florence is in the house, she calls Fiona and Fiona comes to her.
Now, Victoria wants to put the command into practice with an added challenge.
Florence, I'd like you to back up, go round the corner so that Fiona can't see you. And then I want you to call her and we'll see what happens. It's one thing for a dog to go to a person when they can actually see the person, but it's quite another thing for a dog to go to a person when it can't see them. Call her now.
Fiona, Fiona, come. Good girl. Fiona would run right upstairs without hesitating. I feel confident. I don't have any fears now that she won't come. Good girl. Good girl.
Having given Florence more control, Victoria is ready to teach Fiona the next step in her retrieval training.
What I'd like to do is train Fiona to contribute to Florence's day in some way. And fetching medicine bottles is a good thing, and I think it's something that Fiona could definitely do. Take it. Good. Good girl. Take it. Good girl.
Fiona has no problem remembering the take it command, so Victoria advances a little further.
Go get it. Good, bring it back. Bring it back. Good girl. Fiona already knows what go get it means because she's been used to that with having toys thrown for her. When Fiona comes back walking to me with the toy in her mouth, I say, bring it back. Go get it. Go get it. Bring back. Bring back. Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Good girl. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get a heart attack. For a dog to make such progress in such a short amount of time is nothing short of amazing.
Bring it back. Bring it back. Come on. Yay! Good girl. To see Fiona learn something and process it and move to the next stage of something, to really see her pick up a task is very satisfying.
We've come a long way because when I first came here, I have to say, I agree with you, Fiona was out of control. And now, Fiona is in a much, much better place.
This whole experience has been amazing. Like, I'm so happy that Victoria was able to come here and help us. And I'm just really, really grateful.
You know, the more you work with Fiona, the more confident she'll become, the more she'll connect with you, the deeper your relationship will be with her. And walk her, walk her, walk her. Okay? All right?
I feel positive about Fiona. I feel like the training tips and the commands that Victoria gave us, I feel like they're gonna work.
See you later. She's off. All right, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Well
Thank
done.
you so
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye-bye. My mother, from the start of this process, went from the biggest non-believer to the biggest believer. And by her saying things like, oh, Fiona, you're such a good girl, that in a nutshell was just amazing. And you, I'm just so proud of you.
Well, thank you.
Fiona has changed so much, and so is the family. If they continue, they're all going to be so much happier with each other, and Fiona herself is going to enjoy life a lot more.
Fiona's progress has been phenomenal. I mean, a complete 180. I'm just proud of her and very, very pleased. Out, good girl.
My sister, I am so proud of her. She has put in the effort, the dedication, the commitment, and I think also what motivates her is because she is seeing the results. Leave it.
Fiona. Good girl. Fiona has been a pleasure to be around. Fiona, come on. Good girl. I actually enjoy her.
Bring it.
Thanks for watching. If you love It's Me or the Dog and want more dog training tips and tricks, visit my official site, positively.com. And if you're interested in learning more about becoming a dog trainer, check out the Victoria Stilwell Academy. Links to both sites are in the description. I'll see you online.